Hunter and cook fight this time. The wild can be regarded as picking up the ice and snow and actually catching a 2.5 caddies of barracuda with mountain plums. The sauce cooked a grilled fish feast and beyond. There is also steaming fried fish with pine branches and colourful bark porridge. Those who didn't know thought they were coming to the snow. Camping in Kuusamo in northern Finland is located on the edge of the Arctic Circle. This forest sea snowfield not only contains a lake of top ingredients, such as mountain plum and moon chrysanthemum. There are so many barracuda in it that I can't finish this issue. Hunters and cooks are about to challenge it and make a royal feast. The two of them rode on a snowmobile rented by the film crew for 9.9 yuan. Soon they arrived at the challenge location, and as soon as they got off the bus, they were shivering with cold. Therefore, their top priority is to find the right do. Camp hunters saw what appeared to be several lakes there. Setting up camp by the lake is the best option. And just by moving their legs, they had a problem, and it was very difficult to walk in the snow. Not only is the speed slow, but it also consumes very fast physical strength. The fat cook can't stand the hunter. It doesn't work like this. So he went nearby and cut some branches. The plan is to make 2 pairs of sled shoes tied in groups of 4. With 2 horizontal supports tied open in the middle, 2 pairs of sled shoes are made. The effect of wearing it on the feet is immediate, and soon you arrive at the open space you see on the top of the mountain. The hunter's experience taught him. Below this clearing should be a lake. However, when the cook breaks through the ice, the water was black and smelly, and there was an unknown smell in the air. Obviously, this is a swamp. There will be no fish in Z. They have to go and find Finn again. Fortunately, there are hundreds of thousands of lakes, large and small. They want to find one of them, and it's not hard to walk through the jungle for half an hour. Another clearing appeared ahead. The child is still on the side and has not seen it yet. The frozen surface of the water confirms that a lake has been found this time, and they started working together. The cook dug out the snow from the bottom of the tree and piled it aside to make a windshield. Hunters cut down a lot of branches, spread it on the ground as insulation to build shelter before the sun goes down. The shelter takes into account that the temperature here at night will drop to more than -30 degrees, so we're going to have to start the fire. Hunters came nearby to collect some dried moss for fire. You create fire by hitting a flint, then transfer it into the stove and blow it lightly to raise a raging flame. And after a day of traveling, the two are already hungry and thirsty. Eating snow directly decreases the body's core body temperature. It is wisest to boil them into water and then drink them. The fatigue on the body suddenly disappeared. Now the only 4 elements of survival left is food, so I come to the next day. The two of them went out to find each other. The forager plans to go fishing in the middle of the lake, but first he needs to find some bait. I saw fresh sawdust on the surface of a pine tree and speculated that there may be a repellent hidden in it. After cutting it open, as expected, a hibernating deworming was pulled out by him. It's the perfect bait. Then the hunter brought down a sapling and tied the dagger to the top to act as an ice chisel. Then cut a big hole in the lake. The cook on the other side took a spade and walked to the north shore of the lake. He knows that there are many top ingredients in this area. Sure enough, he found dew under the tree after a while. Pine nuts have a unique aroma and can be used to smoke fish. Only then he wanted to continue under the snow. I searched for mountain plums and moon chrysanthemums for most of the day, but couldn't find even a hare. It is estimated that it was preempted by other animals. Hunters who climbed the pit wall worried that they wouldn't be able to bring back food. The chef has hit the European red again. The bark of this thing is rich in fiber and minerals, an important food source during the famine. And pretty soon he had a whole shovel full of them. The hunters on the other side are really expected. After sitting on the ice for most of the day, I didn't even catch a single fish hair, so I had to return to the camp in despair. At this time, the chef was processing the ingredients, and he crushed the bark, then add water and boil for 15 minutes to cook into porridge. The hunter looked at the dark dish and hesitated for a long time before gaining the courage to take a small bite. As a result, within 2.5 seconds, you can't win if you vomit. It means that even if you starve to death later, I won't take another bite of this thing when I die outside. The hunter went to check the fishing line the next day. The bait was eaten, but there was nothing on it. The chefs still found nothing here. If this goes on, let alone eat the royal family. It's hard to say if you can even complete the challenge after a big meal, and you keep coming to ask for it. After getting up on the 4th day of birth, the hunter first boiled a pot of pine needles. The tea reignites the tired body. And then I went up to the surface of the lake and I tried to fish, and I learned from my failure the other day. This time, he creates the sound of his prey falling into the water by shaking the line from time to time. After a while, something really bit the hook. Pulling it up, it turned out to be a perch with only half a double weight fish, but luckily bass come in schools, and if one comes along, there are more. Use the same technique. In just a few minutes, the hunter hunted down the 7 ants and 8 ants of the perch and returned to the camp. In front of the ground, he rehung the smallest one on the hook, hoping to catch a more. After the big fish, cook cleans the perch. Stuff pine branches into the belly of the fish to improve the flavor and use a shovel as a frying pan. Put a few fish on the fire and soon the aroma of the fish will fill the whole camp. The meat is tender and melts in your mouth with a faint aroma of pine branches. Just ate a sperm in 2 bites. Unsatisfied hunters decide to take their bows and arrows out hunting again. This time his goal is clear. The only ones that don't hibernate this season are beavers. He searched along a stream north of the lake, soon found a nest in the river. His plan was to embankment the river. When the dam breaks and the other party notices that the water level has changed, he can wait for the opportunity. Hunting at the same time, the cook on the other side also walked to the lake that had never been explored before, hoping to find some frozen berries. This time he soon found that the fruit is called rice cake blue. It tastes sour and sweet, very appetizing. Not only that, there are also mountain plums and moon chrysanthemums growing next to it. Continue to search. And he found, on a rock face, a deer core, an edible moss, rich in carbohydrates. The hunter on the other side. I crouched on the bank for most of the day and still didn't see the river. The appearance of the beaver inevitably made him wonder if the beaver had gone out to visit a happy family and a sad family. On the way back to camp, the cook found another wood ant colony. Carpenter ants are rich in protein. It's edible as well, and it tastes a little bit like a lemon. Once he had amassed enough, he returned to the camp and began cooking a feast. Put all the ingredients found in the pot. After stir-frying for a while, pick up a little and put it in your mouth to taste. It tasted so good that the hunter on the other side had been waiting for 6 hours. But there was no movement on the water, and now it was too late to return to the camp. So he built a makeshift shelter and was going to spend the night outside. The next day, I dragged my tired body back to the camp. He ate some of the food left by the cook. He suddenly remembered the little perch he had released earlier. Without talking much about the fish, I quickly came to the lake to see if there was any harvest. When I took up the line, when it was pulled up, it turned out to be a white spot of 2.5 catties. Pikefish gills are very red, indicating that they are very fresh. Now they were finally able to have a good meal, and they went back to the camp to work together. Bamboo changes the fish to a flour knife for easy tasting. Then mash the mountain plum moon chrysanthemum found to make jam and spread it evenly on the fish. Finally, add some pine needles for embellishment. Hunters cut down a birch tree nearby. Cut out the wooden board for grilling the fish. Fix the fish body on the wooden board with wooden nails and place it next to the fire charcoal. Baking partner over time. The fish seeps in as it cooks. The aroma of wood and jam. 20 minutes later, a delicious color. The whole grilled fish feast is freshly baked, and the fish itself is already very delicious. A little bit of mountain plum sauce before eating. In the mouth, the meat aroma is rich, fresh and firm. It makes people happy. The hunter ate even the grease on his fingers. In the blink of an eye, the 7th day came. Today is the day to go home. The 2 packed their bags. Reluctantly ended this challenge. Palotes Island off the coast of Malaysia is a remote tropical island near the equator. Perennial uninhabited environment, sultry nuclear-powered speedboat riding white stripes. The unscrupulous duo of hunter and cook is going to challenge him. For the next 7 days, not only will they have to survive, we still have to find the ingredients to make a royal meal. As soon as we go ashore, the chef puts the boots on. Throw the child aside smartly, and this issue of jungling also begins. And you know, on a desert island, the first thing you do is you get water. After saying that, the hunter took the cook into the woods. But even if there are hunters ahead to clear the way, the chef's bloated body was ultimately unbearable, and a big hole was cut in his clothes. Fortunately, they soon found a large lagoon. The hunter immediately hit a pot and tasted it, but he vomited within 2.5 seconds, and he couldn't win. It turned out to be cool, salty water. Hunters speculate that 80% of this lagoon is swollen. The tide formed and wanted to drink fresh water. The two had to look elsewhere. Continuing deeper into the island, they found a dry. Along the dry riverbed, he might find remnants of water. Due to the high temperature and the continuous long journey, the chef baby soon starts to lose his strength and is about to hit. I feel dizzy while my mouth is dry. The hunter, who felt sorry for his teammates, quickly cut down a water vine. The juice inside can temporarily relieve the chef's dehydration urgency and continue to trek 2 miles. A small puddle of clear water suddenly appeared in front of him. Needless to say, it must be fresh water. I am afraid that drinking it directly will cause diarrhea. The two returned to the beach, raised a fire, and boiled it thoroughly before drinking it boldly. Look at the sun. Father-in-law is about to go down the mountain. Before the break, the hunter also wanted to catch a few fish by the sea to lure. The bait is the ubiquitous hermit crab. I thought the resources here should be abundant. As a result, I didn't even catch a single fish here after working for most of the day. I can't help it. I still starved on the first night and waited until the next morning. After waking up, the two planned to go out in search of protein. The hunter takes his diving gear and prepares to go fishing, while the chef goes to the interior of the island to find ingredients. However, the vegetation here seems to be dense, but the edible plants are few and far between. After wandering for a long time, he didn't find anything to eat. Meanwhile, the dive hunters got nothing. The visibility of the water here is less than half a meter, making it difficult for him to see the fish and shrimp around him. After working for a long time, I still went ashore and returned to the camp on the other side. I found a few coconuts washed ashore by the sea and shook them a little. There was a lot of juice in it. Back at the camp, I saw the hunter lying on the beach and sunbathing. I knew this guy definitely didn't catch anything and didn't want to go hungry like this. They can only come to the beach to pick up hermit crabs. Although this thing has beach shit. The name of the shell lang, but it must have been delicious under the processing of the cook and cook. Soon they had collected half a basket full. Next, it's time for the chef's performance. First, put the coconut milk and coconut meat in and bring to a boil. Then pour the hermit crab in and it will be delicious in less than 10 minutes. It looks good when it comes out. As a result, the hunter just ate one of his grandmother's legs and the smell went straight to the sky. When the cook saw his reaction was so boastful, he took one and put it in his mouth. As a result, the next second wears a pain mask, unlike other species of crabs. Hermit crabs live almost on carrion with a soft belly full of bitter large intestines. In order to prevent thinning, they still decided to continue to starve. In the blink of an eye, the time came to the third day, and they're on an island that has very few resources. So the hunter had a bold idea. Try your luck on the other side of the island, where the water looks bluer. There's got to be a big coral reef underwater. And where there are coral reefs, there are no shortage of fish cooks. The language is also believed to be true. If they want to reach the other side, you have to build a dust shelter. Picked up some free bamboo and all kinds of marine debris nearby. Tie them together with hemp rope. The two of them worked under the sun for 3 or 4 hours. Finally built a wilderness dust. It's almost dusk. I will eat some coconuts to satisfy my hunger today. On the 4th day, with only 4 liters. Fresh water to people bar left and right, out with a raft, and surprisingly, the buoyancy and the dynamics are pretty good. Wow. The two were sitting on the bamboo raft talking and laughing, but they kept encountering the sea breeze in the opposite direction on the way. The two of them skated almost all day. After landing on the island, it was too late to rest. Hunters kept searching for materials to make fishing guns. Cut off a straight branch. Tie the rubber band of the slingshot to it first. Fix the arrow to the stick too. So you get a very lethal fishing gun. The blessing of a weapon in hand. The hunter couldn't wait to go down to the sea, aimed at the fish on the bottom of the sea and started hunting. with one blow after another. Soon a dumb grouper got the trick. Before the hunter could be happy, he found another dragon under the reef. Come out of the water first and take a breath. The dive hunter again quickly pulled him out at the same time. The cooks who searched the shore also found something good. This lump of green plant is called hypu. The grapes taste like jumping candy. If you bite it into your mouth, it will burst. It is a rare delicacy. Pack some and take them back to camp. After a while, the hunter also returned with a full load of prey. The chef laughed out loud when he saw this scene. What's even more surprising is that the Australian dragon is also wrapped in lobster, and now it can finally be eaten. It's ready, in order to retain all the umami of the ingredients. The chef is going to serve a pot of seafood hodgepodge after cleaning the ingredients. First spread Shanghai grapes in the pot as a base, then put the wild grouper and the male dragon. Go in one by one without adding any seasonings. The instant the pot is boiled, the umami of seafood comes to your face. The tender and juicy fish tastes delicious, and the tender shrimp meat melts in your mouth. The hunter ate so much that he licked his fingers for fear of wasting a little oil and water. And then finally, a mouthful of sea grapes, and it was so memorable. In the blink of an eye, the 5th day has arrived. The fresh water carried has been drunk, so they took a bamboo raft back, and they passed the coral reef. The hunter wanted to catch some fish for lunch at the bottom of the sea, so he fixed the bamboo with ropes. The raft then dives into the water to catch fish. Soon, half an hour passed. But the cook couldn't wait for the hunter to probe the rope that was originally used to hold the bamboo raft. I don't know when it was released, but it made the cook anxious to rest. Steely's cry of the hunter's name, just as he thought the hunter had died. In the distance, a black head suddenly emerged from the water and waited for the hunter to come back. The eager cook who came over scolded him seriously. Knowing that the cook cares so much about himself, the hunter is also spoiled, and after half an hour of sailing, the two also returned to Pilotti's Guadalcanal without a hitch and took a little rest on the shore. The cook went to the old place to collect again. On the way back from Tam Sui, I saw a mubongzong donkey. The top part is a rare delicacy. Cut it with a knife. After cutting down, remove the white part in the middle. The taste is crisp and sweet in one bite. Bring it back to the camp and let the hunters taste it too. But that wasn't enough, so they stuck it between their teeth and waited until nightfall. The two of them carried sacks to the seaside to catch a few fish for supper. Soon, the hunter found a crimson and didn't talk nonsense to him. He went down a brick and took him to see his wife, then put the sack in the crimson and go back to camp. The cook immediately began to show his skills. Red poisonous tip. Remove the thorns and pour coconut milk into the pot with mud. Bang brown donkey and curry leaves were stewed together, and the feast came out of the oven after a while. The hunter couldn't wait to taste the delicious soup. What the two ate was an endless aftertaste, and this challenge has ended successfully. Kalimantan Island is the largest island in Asia. This is a mangrove swamp with a lot of species. New Zealand's top hunter brings his personal treasure. To expand here as a 7-day survival challenge aboard a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier with a camera crew of 9.99 yuan and free shipping. The two were taken to a narrow channel and the captain had the boat ready. The rest of the way requires them to row and dock themselves. At first they chatted and laughed at the novelty, but saw the ships with the naked eye. You can see the speed, you can't laugh anymore when you leak. You scoop the water out at the same time. Hurry up and find a place to dock. It's hot and humid in the rain. The cook was drenched in hot sweat after a while. Not long after Lee, the hunter saw dark clouds gathering in the sky. It seemed that a heavy rain was coming, so he called the cook to hurry up and build the shelter. And the material, of course, was palm trees that were all around us, and it worked as a frame. Leaves can be used as roofs. As time goes by, the temperature has soared into the 30s. The hunter took an iron pan to the river and fetched a pot of water in this environment. They need 3 liters of fresh water a day to maintain their body's needs. There are many bacteria in river water. You can't just drink it, so the hunter crumbles some palms. Yu Dang Horlong rubbed hard with a magnesium rod. A raging fire rises. Put the wok on the fire and boil the water to cool and the kitchen is ready to drink. As a result, as soon as it was put into its mouth, it spit it out. The water is so salty that it can kill it. This person speculates from experience that it should be seawater pouring. The only way to get fresh water is to wait for the seawater to ebb out. During this time, the two of them split up. The cook went to cut some bamboo for containers of water, and the hunter went out in his boat in search of food. He found several snails on the shore. It can be used as bait. After setting up the 3 fishing lines and returning to the camp, the seawater has also receded. The hunter again made a pot of water and put it on the fire to boil, no doubt fresh water this time. The two poured a lot of water into the bamboo after they were full. It holds for a day, but there's no protein. So far, so good. When he woke up the next morning, the hunter wanted to go out and check yesterday's fishing line, only to find that the boat filled the river overnight. I thought it was too slow to scoop water in a pot, so I wanted to pour the side of the boat out of the river, but I was accidentally. The iron pot at the bow of the boat slid into the river and waited for him to pour the water out of the boat slowly. It has floated out for hundreds of meters and is waiting for him to row out to pick it up. When he came back, the pot had long been missing, and the unsuspecting cook was still searching for ingredients in the jungle. Soon he found a large expanse of sorghum pulp. Can't wait to dig one out and put it in your mouth for a bite. I found that the taste is very rich and not the same as the artificially grown one. I just wanted to take it back and make a pot of hot tea. However, he received the news that the hunter had lost the iron pan. Hearing this bad news, the chef was red on the spot when, even if the hunter succeeded in catching a catfish, it was not enough to quell the cook's anger. The one passed down is usually lost. It's a big deal to buy another one. But now they are in the desolate wilderness without the iron pot, and they will never be able to eat stew for the rest of their lives. The good thing about geese is that hunters have a way to deal with them. They can learn from the locals to cook with bamboo tubes simply by section planning. Window will handle clean catfish. Stuff the fish in and add the mashed sorghum pulp. Put it on the fire and heat it for 15 minutes. The whole bamboo tube catfish is freshly baked, and the hunter scrapes half of the fish for himself. The rest is attached to the bones for the cook to penetrate the delicious fish into the spiciness of wild ginger. Tastes delicious. However, the energy of one fish alone is not enough to meet the needs of 2 adults. Fortunately, the hunter is in New West. Lan Island has many years of hunting experience and is very good at tracking prey. Soon in the jungle, dirt was found on palm leaves that suspected animals had passed by. Soon after, scratching marks were found on tree trunks not far away. He thought it might have been a wild boar rubbing against it. In order to prove his conjecture, he also drew sounds. The color is performing. Isn't this fat for the mouth? So the hunter planned to process a trap. The material is made of bamboo that can be found everywhere. Cut to the right length and make grooves on it, strung together with sticks. You get a bamboo wall. At the same time, the cook on the other side did not idle to see. The hunter is so confident in the trap that he plans to build a grill to handle any wild boar that might be caught. Don't look at the chef. He usually only cooks on fire, but he really doesn't have the skills to do it by hand. All kinds of details are taken care of, and it takes less than half an hour to die. Wear resistance. Fuck the grill. Shortly after, the hunter's trap was completed, and the two carried it to the camp. The trails next to the ground use snails as bait as long as there are wild boars. When you get in and eat, you will trigger the switch and be trapped by the falling gate until the next morning. The two of them couldn't wait to check the trap. The good news is that the trap was triggered. The bad news is that there wasn't even a single hair in it. The hunter decided that these guys were too cunning. Just stick your head in to trigger the trigger. So I didn't catch anything. Well, it looks like their desire to eat pork is about to come to an end, but life goes on. The cook said there are a lot of roach, shrimp in the river and they can find a way to catch some, so that to hit it off. Ready to make a shrimp cage out of bamboo. The entrance is funneled, and the other end is sealed to the point of temptation. The bait is used to eat the remaining fish heads a few days ago. As long as there's a roach shrimp smelling it and crawling in and trying to get through that funnel, it's hard to get out of the mouth and finally catch it. The shrimp cage was thrown into the river, and the rest was left to time until the morning of the 4th day. The hunter salvaged the shrimp cage in anticipation. I saw a nest of roach shrimp lying in the dark inside, Looking at this head is really not small. Now they were finally able to eat a big meal. The two of them worked together, male farming and female weaving. The hunters stayed in the camp, and the cook went out in search of the ingredients. The pulp and a few unripe breadfruit were almost sour in one bite. Fortunately, the vitamin C content is dozens of times that of beef. Wait until you return to the camp. The cook cleans the shrimp first, then cleans the shrimp head and shrimp tail. The ingredients are put into the bamboo tube in turn. Breaking apart the bamboo slices, the white and reddish shrimp meat looks very tempting. The hunter couldn't wait to pick up a piece and put it in his mouth. It tasted tender. Slide cube balm is delicate. Delicious shrimp meat perfect with sorghum. The spicy taste of the pulp and the sour taste of the noodles combine with different taste sensations and collide with each other in the mouth. It was so delicious that it exploded. In the afternoon, the hunter went to check the fish again. The line is, predictably, another catfish whistling and singing back to camp. This time he's going to cook it himself. Let the cook have a taste of his craft and spit on the lid first. Then put it on your clothes and wipe it. Then sprinkle a handful of salt. In the end, the whole catfish is thrown in, and the rest is left to Providence in the meantime. And on the other side, the cook goes to the shore to inspect the shrimp traps. Unexpectedly, I found that it should have been tied. The boat on the shore is gone. Needless to say, it must have been the hunter's doing. Now the pot is gone and the boat is gone. Only then did he realize that the greatest danger in this wilderness is neither change. The weather measured is not a crocodile in the river. Instead, this partner in front of him waited until the hunter took the catfish. The cook who came to taste the fish did not make any comments. Ask the other party if they have any last words to explain. Until the cook broke the news about the lost boat, the hunter could only laugh, cover up the embarrassment. In the blink of an eye, the sixth day has come to catch the wild boar trap, and there is still no harvest. So they carried him back to the camp. The land is going to be converted into bamboo rafts for waste reuse, but before they also have to eat a big meal to replenish their strength. So the hunter brought the cook to shallow. By the beach, he thought there might be clams hidden in the mud under his feet, and the two tentatively dug. I didn't expect to get it, and it's so big. After some hard work, a lot of kung fu was harvested in a short time. We will catch them after returning to the camp. The shrimp cage was salvaged, and not only did it catch a lot of roach shrimp, but also a large blue crab. The grill that the chef had worked so hard to build finally came in handy after cleaning the ingredients. The cook arranges the roach shrimp neatly on the lid of the pot, bakes it on the fire, and then puts the clams. Cut the clams, take out the meat inside, pour them into a bamboo tube, and simmer and roast them. As for the blue crab, the chef would grill the crab on an iron plate at the same time. The hunter on the other side was also busy. He took the bamboo raft apart and reassembled it into a bamboo raft. It doesn't look very sturdy, but as long as it doesn't sink. After an hour, a delicious. The whole seafood feast is freshly baked, and the hunter smells it. He came back and the cook happily invited him to dinner crab. Yellow is delicious, firm and plump shrimp. The tail is delicious to the extreme. For a time, the hunter was full of praise for the cook's craftsmanship, and it came to the seventh day. After packing, the two of them pulled on the handmade bamboo raft and successfully completed this challenge.